हेलो एवरीवन, माय नेम इज़ मंजीत एंड मैं आप लोग के साथ एक नई जर्नी को स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। जिस जर्नी में मैं आप लोग को आयोनिक ऐप के बारे में बताऊँगा और आयोनिक ऐप होता है क्या है उसके बारे में समझाऊँगा। तो उसके साथ साथ मैं आप लोग को ये शेयर कर रहा हूँ कि इसके अंदर इसके आउटकम्स क्या क्या हो सकते हैं। उसके आउटकम्स हो सकते हैं कि इंट्रोडक्शन में पढ़ूँगा व्हाट इज़ आयोनिक, व्हाट इज़ द आयोनिक प्लेटफॉर्म, व्हाट इज़ द सेकेंड framework in use Ionic, and what is the overview, setting, development, installation, and all thing in project structure, project crystal project के साथ मैं इस कोर्स को स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। आप लोग मेरे चैनल से ज्वाइन कीजिए और इस कोर्स का मज़ा लीजिए और कोडिंग कीजिए। लेट्स गेट स्टार्ट। फर्स्टली मैं समझूंगा कि व्हाट इज आयोनिक। ओके, तो मैं यहाँ पे समझने वाला हूँ कि आयोनिक क्या होता है। ठीक है, आयोनिक क्या होता है। तो आयोनिक इज़ एन ओपन सोर्स फ्रेमवर्क यूज्ड टू बिल्डिंग मॉडर्न हाई क्वालिटी क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म mobile app using web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It allows developers to create apps that run on multiple platforms like iOS, Android, and even all the web using single code base. Pretty and cool, right? Okay, so it based on web components and integrated with popular frameworks like Angular, React, and Vue. But we can also use it without any framework to at all. Like we can say, but we use in Angular frameworks inside the Ionic. Okay, so firstly your question is why I use Ionic. So my answer is Ionic standout become it allow you to use skills you already knows, like you knows already skills HTML, CSS, JavaScript to build app that work across different platforms like iOS, Android, web without needing to learn multiple native languages like Swift and Kotlin. Let's break it down. So firstly, with cross-platform development, what is cross-platform development? So Ionic allows you to build one app that run on multiple platforms like iOS, Android, and even on the web using one code base. Like we are creating a one code here. I'm writing the one code, and this code allows to run in I'll run this code in iOS, Android, and another like web. Okay, so second thing, it is the open source and free. You can use freely. It's not paid and it's the open source. You can copy paste. You can is going to here documentation and see the all documentation, how to use and why to use and what is the main purpose of this. So Ionic is a completely free and open source which make it accessible for everyone from individual developers to large enterprises. And use web technologies, Ionic user web technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which means if you are familiar with web development, you're already halfway there. So you don't need to learn new programming. It is the language for mobile development like Swift or iOS, Java, Kotlin for Android. So we can create a beautiful UI component. What is the mean by UI? UI is the user interface. So with the help of Ionic, we create a new user interface component, user interface pages, and like this. So Ionic provides a library of a pre-built UI components like button, lists, forms, and navigation steps that are optimized for mobile devices. These components flow native designs and patterns, so your app looks or feel like a real mobile app. Okay, whenever we create one bookstore, one delivery app, so is totally so the main real app. Okay, you can customize this component easy to fit your app design. So go to the what is the popular frameworks in integration. So Ionic integration easy with popular front-end framework like Angular, React, but we use also frameworks is a front-end like Angular. This means you can leverage the power of these frameworks while still building cross-platform apps. And it have a capacitor for native functionality. So what is the capacitor? The capacitor is the modern native runway by Ionic that allow you can access native device features like a camera, GPS, file systems, and notifications. With capacitor, you can add any native functionality to your app using simple JavaScript APIs. Okay, and like this, having the best of both worlds, web and native. So go to the our Ionic users. Who uses Ionic? So Ionic is used by millions of developers worldwide and power app from startups for Fortune 50, 100 plus companies. Some big names that use Ionic include like SoftKit is a fitness app, and MC Donald is the also used restaurant app with using Ionic, and National Health Services like NHS is in the UK. UK National Health Services also use Ionic. Use the Ionic use and create our app and something else. Okay, so I'm talking about the capacitor. What is the capacitor? So the superpower of Ionic is the name of capacitor. So Ionic use capacitor to give your web based on access to native mobile features, and capacitor is the bridge to content web apps to native device functionality like cameras, global location, push notification, and file system. Which capacitor you need to learn complex native programming languages? You can just call them and features using JavaScript APIs. Okay, so you are a beginner in this app platform, multi-platform. Like, so if you are new to app development, like Ionic is a great starting point because you can use familiar web technologies like build a mobile apps. So you can build a simple app and run it on your phone within hours. And we talking about professionals like we senior developers, and not like me. I am not senior web developer, and I am not a professional. I am a beginner. So professional like love Ionic because it's a fast support modern frameworks and scales well for a large applications, but it also has a hug communicator of like finding help the resources is easy. Okay, so I am talking about his performance. So his performance is not like a fast because he's date of 7th year before, so it's a replace of like Flutter and anything else in market. So firstly so we know what is Ionic and look at the Ionic platform. So next video I am coming to look at the Ionic platform and what is the second framework and use Ionic inside Ionic, overview of Ionic frameworks. सो मैं इतना पे ये वीडियो को एंड करता हूँ और फिर मैं कल इस पर नेक्स्ट वीडियो में आप लोग को लेकर आऊँगा व्हाट इज़ ओवरव्यू एंड आयोनिक प्लेटफॉर्म के बारे में जानूँगा, और फर्स्ट हम कैसे ऐप क्रिएट करते हैं और आयोनिक को अपने सिस्टम में कैसे इंस्टॉल करते हैं। सो बस आज के लिए इतना ही गाइस, थैंक यू, बाय बाय, लाइक एंड शेयर सब्सक्राइब और बने रहिए मेरे साथ। और फिर नेक्स्ट वीडियो में लेकर आऊँगा तो उससे मैं आप लोग को प्रोजेक्ट बना के सिखाऊँगा, प्रोजेक्ट बनाना बताऊँगा। और बस आज के लिए बस इतना ही, थैंक यू, बाय बाय।